Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talent to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Welcome everyone to the Giver Marketing Network Masterclass, also being live streamed on the Kingdom Warriors Private Holders Group. So we're here and excited to talk to you about, well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever found that it's difficult to choose what social media platform you want to live stream and share your videos to, whether it's long form or short form? Have you ever wondered how to leverage video for your social media content? Well, we're here with Catara Lane from CLXContent, and she's going to be just sharing a few concepts with us so that we can have a meaningful dialogue with you as you throw your questions in the comments. And we're going to talk about video and how it relates to social media and what you can do, just boots on the ground, like just get going, just get moving with the almighty video on social media. So Catara, with that, if you want to unmute yourself there and let's jump in. I want to ask you a real quick question around your story. How did you get into this space? What's the origin story? Like, where did you come from? We've been working together for a little bit now. Can you share that with the audience where you came from and how you got to do what you're doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I've always created videos since I was younger, playing with the Windows Movie Maker on the Windows computer when it first came out when I was younger. But, I feel like I really started to take it seriously when I went to college for it. I got a bachelor's degree in film and media arts. And, while I was in school, I got the opportunity to freelance with different nonprofits and small businesses in my area. And then when I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this full time. So I've been doing it ever since. It's been about 2 years now and, still kicking it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And listen, we've been able to connect a little bit together. You've been on this broadcast one time before. There's only a few people that have been asked to come back twice, and you've accepted that invitation. So we're excited to have you kind of give us an updated and a fresh perspective on how to leverage our video. And you help edit and create and collate content for social media through the power of video. And we encourage everybody to look up Catara Lane right now, even as you're watching. Check out her social profiles and then continue to listen in on a little bit what she has for us today. So with that, I'm going to add some of her visual goodies to the screen so we can follow along visually and just understand a little bit more about what you're going to be sharing with us today. So go for it, Catara. I'm excited to learn.
All right. So today, basically, we're going to be talking about short video content as it pertains to social media. So what that means is, there's like so many different platforms and there's so many different ways you can put video on these different platforms. So it's just like, I'm really going to go through not every single platform, the main platforms that I'm aware of, and just give you guys some tips on what you should be doing, what each feature is for on the platforms. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know because I am here to help. Alrighty, so we are going to get started. So first, we are going to talk about Instagram. So, and also feel free to leave the comments in the comment section because I want to answer questions as we go along with every social media platform and not all the way at the end since there is so many different platforms. So
real quick, Catara, before you jump in, I want to ask the audience to put in the comments what platforms they prefer to use, what their preferred social media platform is, whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, whatever the social media platform of choice is. Put that in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, so that we have an idea of who we're talking to today and kind of where you like to play, where your happy place is.
yeah, that's a great question. All right, so for Instagram, we have two main features for video that deals with short video content, and that's Instagram Reels and Stories. So for Instagram Reels, as you guys know, they copied off of TikTok. It lets you share video content directly to your followers' feed and also to the Reels tab. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this update or not, but now all video posts and not just Reels they're now all automatically shared as Reels. So it's like if the video is under, I think like 90 seconds, it's automatically shared as a reel. And also all videos that are on your Instagram page, they are now all in the Reels tab. So it's the best way to reach new people. And it's a great way to build a connection with the audience that you already have because it's video. And it's also, I know we talk about going viral a lot. It's the best way to go viral. Not saying you will, because most likely you won't, but it is a chance that you will, okay? Next thing we have is Instagram stories. You can upload videos up to 60 seconds on your Instagram stories that will last up to 24 hours. I like to think of Instagram stories as a great place to sell. So, it's so interactive. They have polls, they have question stickers, they have a lot of features on Instagram stories that really let you know where everybody's headspace that's following you is. So you can like ask them questions like, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? Great market research on Instagram stories, I feel like, and you can also talk about your service. And then at the end of the Instagram stories, you can then insert a link. So it's not like the comments of a normal post or a normal video on Instagram. You can't add a link there, but with your Instagram stories, you can add a link directly in there. So that's why I love that part. So I see Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. All right, cool. So next platform we're going to go to is Facebook. And feed videos and reels similarly to Instagram. They have reels and feed videos. But if you share a video to Facebook, like if you schedule it, it won't automatically go to the reels section. You have to directly go into Facebook and schedule it as a reel, or it'll just be a normal video. And with Facebook Reels, I feel like it's not as popular as Instagram Reels right now. So I feel like the reach on there is also really good. So people can discover you, people outside of your friends. And I believe this is like one of the only ways outside of like Facebook Live where you can like really reach new people is like Facebook Reels. So definitely something that you want to take a look at. And then one statistic that always stands out for me for Facebook is that mostly all the videos are, people watch them without sound. So captions are definitely a must. They're a must on like all videos for platforms, but mostly for Facebook because people definitely watch videos with sound off. So whether they're at work or doing something else while they're on Facebook, they watch the videos with the sound off. So make sure there are captions on there. Next, we have LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is like one of my favorite social media platforms for video right now not TikTok, and not Instagram. And it's because if you have like a lot of connections on LinkedIn, basically when your connections like your post, then it goes out to all of their connections. So they don't really have any special like video feature. They just have in-feed video. But I feel like it works really good for organic traffic, especially if you have like lots of connections on there and you personally know a lot of people. They will like your content and it will go out to their connections, which is really good for like B2B content. So as you can see here, it's like 5 times more likely to get comments, and they're getting shared 20 times more than other content. And I'm going to give you guys my hypothesis about this. I think it's because you actually don't see a lot of video on LinkedIn. I don't know about you guys, but on my LinkedIn profile, there's like a lot of written posts, and there's a lot of, not even a lot of, but like there's a few photos. So like when you see video pop up on your LinkedIn feed, I think it's really effective because it's like, wow, somebody made a video instead of like a long written post. So I think that's really cool. Next, we have TikTok. Now, I know TikTok is like, we want to watch out for TikTok right now because it might be banned. And they've been talking about banning this app for a very long time. So I don't know. I'm a little wary about this app. I love TikTok. I'm a Gen Zer. Love it. But it's like, it might be getting banned soon. So, but, just in case it doesn't, I wanted to go over it. So it works really well if you have like a specific niche. They put your videos on something called a For You page. And basically, everybody's For You page is different. So if someone's always looking up like makeup content, they'll see makeup content. I remember when I worked with a nonprofit and they took care of preemie babies and they were making TikTok content for that. They found their audience on there, which is like preemie mothers. And I thought that was like super cool. So it's great for discoverability in SEO. People are actually starting to use the app more like Google for getting information. So it's like, really good for specific things. So like if you know your niche and you have like very specific people that you want to reach, I feel like TikTok is definitely a place. It's just that, there's a lot of controversy right now with that and it might be getting banned. But other than that, it's a really great place. The next platform we have is YouTube. So, just in case TikTok get banned, there's always YouTube. I don't think YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon. So YouTube Shorts is like a newer feature. So I believe it's currently not as saturated as TikTok. It's not as many people on there. While YouTube itself might be saturated with like the longer form videos, I believe that YouTube Shorts is not. So it's, I feel like there's a big opportunity to get on there right now and actually like test around because they're still looking for people to get onto YouTube Shorts. The reach is also very wide because you're reaching people that's not just your subscribers and they're pushing the content out. And you can also get a lot of subscribers to your channel with YouTube Shorts. I've heard people say that they've grown their channel with just YouTube Shorts, but it's just like, you can't focus on this metric for YouTube anymore. Like, don't just focus on the subscribers because usually people have to watch, originally your long form content on YouTube. So it's like they binge watch probably like hours of YouTube content. Now they're binge watching like your YouTube Shorts. So the connection might not be as strong, especially when like people have places like Instagram or TikTok where they can also watch that at. So it's like YouTube is definitely like a longer game in my opinion. It takes a lot more effort than the other platforms. You can't just post a video on there and go. You have to consistently and continuously post videos on YouTube to like stay relevant and also, make sure that you're doing the right things on that platform. So yeah, that is it. Um,
Nice. So we have a handful of social media platforms that a majority of the world has at least tried and might have an account with. But as business owners, marketing professionals, entrepreneurs, socially conscious organizations of all kinds, we want to make sure that we're taking our game to another level in social media, right? Katara, what have you seen as far as, and I'll bring down
mm.
the slides for right now, but what have you seen as far as your clients and what platforms that they're kind of leveraging, and how are they doing that? Can you give us maybe like a, not a case study, but just examples of some of the clients you've worked with and how they're doing what they're doing?
So, yeah, I work with like a lot of small businesses and nonprofits.
Mhm.
So what I usually do for them is they ask for short video content. They're usually thinking of getting started on TikTok and also posting on their Instagram,
Mhm.
maybe Facebook profiles. But what I do for them is I actually let them know all the different platforms that they can actually put it on. So, maybe you don't have to post every single last one of them on every single last platform, but I always recommend to at least test it out because you never know. You might think your content will do really good on Instagram, but you might find out that this video does really good on LinkedIn instead. So, really testing, actually knowing where your audience is and testing the videos out on different platforms is also really important.
So when it comes to testing, and in just a minute, we're going to have kind of a panel come and ask you some questions as well. In fact, you know what? Christine, let's go ahead and fill up the panel room now on the screen if you're willing to do that. And then we have comments happening in the live stream as well. But hi, everybody. Good to see everybody. Um, when it comes to your clients, do
Yeah,
they
we
have
all
to?
mute ourselves. There's a lot of feedback.
Oh yeah, we should probably mute ourselves, huh? Tim and Mindy, if you could mute yourself for just 1 minute, that'd be great. Awesome. Good. So there's a little bit of background noise there. Yeah, thank you, Katara. The question that I would have is, okay, so when a client is starting to really ramp up on social media, do they have to have like the fancy intros and outros and kind of have like all the fancy effects just to be taken seriously on these platforms, or can they go a little bit more organic and just kind of talk to their people? Like how how does that work as far as taking your game just to that kind of that active level?
Yeah, so I am a personal believer that you start where you are. So no, you do not need super fancy effects and outros to like get started on social media. Start where you are. If you just have a phone and a message, start with that phone and that message, and as you go along, you can like get more fancier with your outros, your music, your captions. But definitely start where you are, especially if it's just you and you're just getting started with video. You don't have any help. You don't really have time for all that stuff and to like learn. I'm assuming. So just start where you are and just record the videos. And then as you go along, you can start adding captions and effects. And then you might want to hire an editor, but definitely just start where you are.
I love that. So there's the let's just get started phase. Let's see what happens with your audience and how they interact and comments and connections and kind of the results or the metrics. Then you can start really putting fuel in the tank by hiring Katera or getting some consultation from her, something to kind of get your game to another level. If you're starting to see results, boy, that's a great tip there. Christine, Tim, Mindy, what questions? I see some questions even in the comments right now, but what questions do you have for Katera as others are putting their questions in the comments?
Well, what pops to mind to me is, let's say we have people that thought about doing video, but they're a little nervous about it. What do you consider the best place to start, right? So they've never done it before, but if they really want to, what platform or how do you suggest that they get started, Katara?
Well, the first thing that they have to do to get started is they have to make a plan. So it's like, the platform should not be the first thing that you should be thinking about when you want to start posting video content. The first thing you should be thinking about is what you actually want to talk about, and what do you want to get out of posting your video content? Like, do you want more awareness? Do you want people to know more about what you do? Do you want people to have more of their questions answered? So first think about that. Write all of these things down. And video content is just like social media content, so your posts or your written content, that's basically the script to a video. It's just you have to rearrange it in a way to where it makes sense for you to say it out loud. But it's just the same way you make like a normal post. It's more elaborated and you're like talking about it more. So first figure out what you're trying to do with it, and then you can make the video, and then based on that, where you think your audience is and what you're trying to do with the video, that's where you figure out where to post it at.
Do you feel like people are informing well on their platforms, or do you think they're maybe? I noticed that certain platforms, certain types of posts are a little bit more salesy, but these videos can be a little bit more personable. Do you feel like that it's getting less salesy out there and more personable because of video, or how is that working as far as what you're seeing?
Well, from what I've seen that the best videos that work for connection building is like the personable ones where people are like telling their stories. And then there's also like the videos on tips and tricks. Those are also really good. So, and also I don't think there's anything wrong with the sales video. That's what you're there for. You're there to sell. But it shouldn't be every single video. You should definitely throw in some organic video content in there that just talks about your services and building connections. Because if you just post sales videos after you posted absolutely nothing, that's a little random and your audience is going to be like, no. So, get some other videos before you put it in there. I think it's like the 80-20 rule. So 80%, connection building, and then 20% selling.
I love it. And there's also a way to sell, right? Without being pushy. Like, you're pulling them into your story. You're pulling them into your content. You're pulling them in with questions. You're pulling them. There's a way to sell that really invites people as opposed to pushes and forces something into their feed, right? I
Yeah.
love that. Thanks for that clarification on kind of the 80-20 rule too. That's a really good reference. I love that. Tim or Mindy, I know you have a question that was also posted in the comments, so I can read that too as well. But Tim, do you have a question for Catara today?
I came in a little later. I'm sorry. I think that the biggest, when it comes to video and specifically the short form, to me the biggest question is how do you have a consistent, like, obviously knowing your market is super important. So, I guess placement and wondering how to tell a story, how to create value in 30 seconds or 60 seconds. To me, that seems to be the difference between me swiping real quickly, going, oh, this is a talking head who really doesn't have much to say, or this is somebody who has something of value that I want to hear.
Okay. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm talking about those really long-winded videos where they take forever to get to the point. So I think that's where like the structuring of the video comes in at. So I think what you're also referring to is like actually holding people's attention. So it's like there's a way to structure the videos to where people aren't immediately thrown off by your long-windedness, I guess. So like, the first thing, you should always have a hook in your videos. So it's like, a question, something to get their attention. So, or actually just basically telling them what they're learning in the video. And then it's just getting straight to the point. So the middle, the meat, the most important part of the video. What did they actually come here to watch it for? And then at the end, there's the call to action. So that's the main way of how to structure a video. And yeah, definitely long-windedness is something, it's really hard for people who like to talk, but it's something that you can get better at.
What would be some examples of hooks that right away that would catch people?
Hooks. Okay, so here are 3 ways that you can do this, or did you know that insert whatever fact, or a question like have you ever had this happen to you? Well, this is how you can solve this. So just different ways you can engage people and get them curious before they actually start watching.
Curiosity is king. I like this curiosity comment you just made. I wonder if sometimes we get so deep into our own head, our own content, that we sometimes forget the audience is really designed to be curious, and so we just have to help them be a little bit more curious about a particular topic. That's a great comment. Thank you for that. Mindy, you had a question about what is the easiest DIY video editor that you've come across for various, let's talk to the Android and the Apple, the Apple users. Let's talk to kind of a wide range here, Catara. Can you speak to that?
CapCut. I love CapCut. It's actually TikTok's native video editor. I believe they're the people who made the video editing app. So CapCut, they have transitions in there. They have the effects in there. They even have a few templates in there if that's what you're interested in. They also have some of the most popular TikTok sounds. So it's like, how sometimes business pages, they can't, post with the copyrighted music. So it's like, on the CapCut app, they actually already have the audio in there. Now, whether you want to actually post that or not, and, actually you might get taking it down, but, whether you want to post with the audio or not is up to you. But they have the sound in there for you available to use.
And how do you, could you spell that for everybody who's kind of just listening as they're doing some other things as well? Like, how do you spell that?
CapCut is spelled CAP, cut CUT. So cap like a bottle cap, and then cut, like,
Great. So it looks like you can find it on capcut.com and some of these places that I see Tim putting in the private chat here. Okay, great. Well, good. Christine, you said there might be some good comments coming through, questions coming through. What's the questions and maybe some of the good comments that you have that might be worth asking?
Well, so here's a great question about the algorithms, right? Everybody's always trying to beat the algorithms. That's what they always talk about with social media. So they're talking about when you try and make the Instagram algorithm work for you organically, does the algorithm stop working less and less as you start to become an influencer? Does it become more difficult? They're just wondering, how does this whole algorithm and video thing work? I don't know if you can offer any insights for us or not, Catara. I know that's constantly changing, so you may not have an up-to-date answer because they'll change it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's just like Instagram's going to do what it's going to do. But it's like the most important thing with that platform, I feel like, is to actually like be consistent. And not only be consistent, but test out different types of videos. So for my podcast, I have been testing out different types of videos, different style captions, different like video wrappers. And it's actually the ones, and it's almost like the ones that you don't want to post. It's like those are always the ones that do the best. So it's just like testing out videos, testing out different lengths, and so both short videos like 7 seconds, and then maybe you have like 30-second videos. So test them all. Just test different types of videos. And you'll see that the more you post, the more traction it gets. That's what I found, especially with like lower followings. And I actually found that Instagram, they're actually starting to push reels out less for some reason, especially if you have like a lower audience. So it's like, just continuously pushing it out there and, testing out what works best for that app, and, looking at your insights too. Like, what are people responding the most to? What are people sharing and saving the most? That's what you should be looking for when you're trying to see what to post more of.
Any other comments or questions, Christine, that is
Oh, we've got
kind of
more.
coming
Don't
through?
worry. There's more people asking questions. Like, here's another great question. Andrea Jones is asking, do you recommend a certain number of posts per week when you're building your online presence? Does it always have to be video? Maybe you can give some suggestions.
Do I recommend a certain amount of posts per week? Actually, no. I recommend quality over quantity. So it's like if you can only do maybe one or two good posts a week, then, do your very best at that one or two posts a week. Because it's like if you're posting 5 times a week, but it's like 2 of the videos are really good and 3 of the other videos are not good, it's no point anyway. So just post as much as you can. Make sure you can do it consistently though. So if you can only post 1 or 2 videos a week, make sure you post those 1 or 2 videos a week. And it may not seem like it's a lot to you, or maybe your competitor is doing more, but you have to think about, your bandwidth with these sort of things, because making videos is not it's not an easy task. It takes time. So it's like you don't want to post so many at one time that you get completely burned out and then disappear for 3 months. So I'd rather it be consistent than like, overloading it and then disappearing for like 5 months at a time.
Put quality and consistency in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Type both of those words so we can all remember it together. Quality and consistency is what Catara just charged us to do. And I accept that challenge, Catara. I think that's a really good concept and mindset to go as we endeavor into these kind of newer lands that some of us haven't played in a lot. There's others, like there's some Kingdom Warriors out there and some Giver Marketing Network members that we've been experimenting for a while, but we can't forget quality and consistency. I love that. So good. What's next, Christine?
So Deanna Murphy is asking, what are great call to actions to give without selling on your content videos? So it sounds like she's not wanting to be too salesy. What other call to actions can you do when you're not asking somebody to actually buy something, but can still get them involved?
So I believe that every video should have a call to action, whether it's in the captions or at the end of the video. So you don't have to tell them directly to go purchase something, but maybe you can like tell them to like message you for more information, or like click the link in my bio to learn more. Something like that, to where it's like kind of like, what you want them to do, but it's not, you don't have to be like, hey, go buy this thing, or, so pushy. I don't like pushy content either. Where like they're like, I'm the best answer on the internet, please go do this. It's like, okay, we get it, but definitely you can do it in more like a warmer tone. Like, if you want, go visit this link in my bio, or, to learn more, or, so more softer language rather than hard, if that makes sense.
And I know I've also seen success on the other side of the sales, where that's intentionally what they're trying to do. You've seen some of the MLMs will actually have products, do a short video, and people will, yes, I want that one. Okay, this is Post-it note number 1, right? So there's ways to bring it in on sales also. But a lot of times, like you said, it's got to be something they're interested in, right? If you're not interesting and there's no call to action telling them what you want them to do, they're just going to sit there in space and do nothing. I love it, Catara. Thank you.
Christine, you mentioned interesting, the word interesting. If I could interject a quick question here as you're preparing the next couple of questions there, and the next question, how much does personality play in the video game? Like, if we just think of it like just step back from a personality standpoint, can any personality kind of lean into their superpowers and be successful on video? Or is it only the extroverts who have this gregarious personality and use their hands everywhere? Like, can you speak to the different personality types out there?
No, I don't think you have to be super extroverted to, get involved with video. Personally, me, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't like going outside of the house, honestly, sometimes. So it's like, you don't have to be an extrovert to get on video. Even if you're like more of a calmer person, I would say I'm pretty much that, archetype too. Where it's like, I'm not like the most excited person, but it's like, if you have a message and you're talking to the right, most likely your audience, they're sometimes like the same people that you are. So it's like I have a lawyer client, for example. We all know they're not the most exciting people in the world. Like they can be very monotone, but he's doing really good on TikTok right now, and it's like he even has like TikTok moms hitting on him through like TikTok live. So it's like it's very, and he's like the most monotone person, but it's like he's connecting with who he needs to connect to, and it's also like there's other things that can make you look more exciting on video. So like the audio or the captions, those are other things you add to the video to make sure it's not just you and your monotone voice, if that's something that you're worried about.
I love it. Yeah. Like you said, introverts, extroverts, doesn't matter because there's going to be somebody out there that's your type anyway, right? So if the content is interesting to your group of followers, then it's perfect. Right? We also have somebody asking more about, they said it's hopped on late, or they're wondering about, is LinkedIn a good place to do live videos if your target audience is entrepreneurs? So I know you kind of touched on that. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that at all or just give them a quick recap.
Yes, I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is awesome. It's one of my favorite places to put videos, especially if, most of your connections is entrepreneurs, then most likely their connections is also entrepreneurs. So it's like, yes, and I feel like they're most likely the ones that's on LinkedIn because they're also trying to sell their services to other people. So yes, I think LinkedIn is a great place to, go on there if your target audience is entrepreneurs, because they're the people that's most likely on there consistently, because not everybody's on LinkedIn consistently. Like doctors, plumbers, they might be too busy to get on LinkedIn. Somebody might be managing their accounts, but entrepreneurs, they're on there for themselves and they're managing their own accounts consistently. So yes, I think they're on there.
I love the quality of your the way you present yourself today, Katara. I just want to publicly just encourage you and how you're bringing and selecting the words you're choosing uh, is reflective of your personality. You're very consistent and stable type of person, but you also have this quality of language choice that probably comes through in other videos as well. And so there's that kind of that personality or that style that you're bringing even today, right now, as we're talking. And I just want to say that I appreciate that because there's a lot of hype out there. And I'm not saying hype is bad. I'm just saying we need a mix, a balance of different people producing content. And let's encourage those more conscientious, thoughtful, reflective, thinkers out there to actually produce this content. And if there's nothing else we can do today, we want to encourage you, get started, especially if you're a little bit timid in front of a camera. Do 5 recordings if you need to before you actually post it. Like do 5 renditions of it or edit it if you need to, or ask Catara how to edit it, or experiment with that software she mentioned before. But bottom line is we need more voices like you, Catara. We just need you out there kind of just smiling, being calm, cool, collected, and bringing quality and consistency, which is what you said before. So anyway, sorry, Christine, I just had just a moment there. I apologize. I love working with our team members, and we have all different Giver marketing team members here in the kind of the green room here, just having a conversation for everybody to listen in on. We also have Kingdom Warriors that are listening in saying, I want to do more video. I want to do more video, but I'm scared, I'm shy, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I don't have anything great to say today. And it's like, well, share your story. Like, that's a great thing. Like it's like a thumbprint. Like that's you. Like, so at least share that. If somebody were to share anything maybe beyond just the basic story, which we feel that's kind of ground zero. People need to know your story, otherwise they may not know, like, and trust you ever. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, can you speak to the power of story when it comes to video?
Yeah, so I like to believe that, most time our target audiences, they're, maybe not all the time, but in most cases, one or two steps below us. So it's like, we're usually helping people that, we wish we could have had us when we were in their steps. So it's like, we're telling them all the things that we've learned over the past however many years or months, and we're trying to get them to where we are now. So my as well as like sharing your stories, I think that a good place to start with videos is to, answer who, what, where, and why. And that's going back to like an elementary thing. So, that should be your first set of videos when sharing your story. Who you are, why you do what you do, what do you do, and how do you do it? That's some basic questions you can answer when you're first starting to share your story.
Great tip. Christine, anything else in the comments? Mindy, while she's looking, did you have any other questions? I know you had a really good question earlier about video editor. Was there anything else that popped out to you particularly?
Yes. When you're talking about sharing, who you are, why you do what you do, etc. I mean, obviously, it would have to be a series of videos. Otherwise, you'd end up with a really long one that nobody likes. And I would assume that, I guess, from a communication point of view, it would be like you would do a snippet and almost end with a, okay, I'll finish this story with the next video, or some way to let people know that that video is not all by itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So, there are other videos with the purpose of, letting people know the full story behind what you do. For example, like a brand message video. Like, I think that answers the who, what, where, and how questions perfectly with it all being together in one video. But it's like for little small snippets, they don't necessarily need to know that another one's coming because they're all individual pieces of content by themselves. So it's like you have like normal content posts, and you might say like, I'm introducing myself today, and that would be one post. So it's the same thing with a video and short video content. Each piece of content should be able to stand on its own. And that's also how I talk about quality. They all don't have to go with each other. If it is a series, that's cool. But if it's not, that's also cool.
And maybe to build confidence, I'm going to say start with something fun. A lot of times we're so serious, and you talked about the 80-20 rule, right? So let your personality shine in whatever it is you're doing. Like, I'm warming my audience up with dog videos. I mean, I've got a puppy. He does stupid things, that's what they do. So I put that on there, got a little bit of a caption, some music going, nice, simple, easy, so that you kind of just edge in gently, right? So they're like, oh, she puts funny stuff up. So when I start throwing in some of the more serious stuff, I've already got my audience paying attention, right? So
Watch out, Christine. Your dog's going to end up with its own channel. Just watch out.
But there's a whole following for people that love dogs. And, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're very dog friendly here. So, that's a great way. Oh, she's got a dog. I've got a dog. She's a dog lover. I want to do business with another dog owner. It could be something as simple as that. So it's okay to share your personality and be you.
Everyone loves pets.
Maybe not the same pets, but everybody loves pets in general. I love that. That's just little tips. Or even if you're a veteran and you have a flag of your country behind you that shows that you're patriotic in some way, shape, or form. Or like I'm wearing a Kingdom Warriors sweatshirt right now. I resonate with a certain group of people, and I just really enjoy having conversations. Or Mindy, talking to authors. Maybe she has some books on her desk or bookshelves or something, that makes, what I mean? Like, and Tim, doing the kind of the story brand meets your noble purpose meets, your brand evangelism kind of work that he's done in publishing his book and things too. Like I love to drop just the goodies that we have in the room, because this roundtable discussion and Christine, in your work with chambers and veterans in the Dallas Fort Worth area and beyond, now your influence is starting to really expand extraordinarily. So, Catara, thank you for really presenting some baseline concepts that will help us, first principles, build out our brands as causes and companies doing good in the world. We really appreciate your time today. You are the calm, collected, uh, brilliant person around video meets social media content. And if anybody wants to connect with you, obviously they need to look you up. Catara Lane on all the social media platforms. You can try to find her. Her name is Catara Lane, ladies and gentlemen. We feel like we have a rising star in the room, and we just want to celebrate you and thank you so much for your brilliance today and your content and just getting us started, like giving us the courage to go. Especially, I'm picking up on, like, it's okay to just get started. Like, you
Yeah, that's
have
it.
permission. You have permission to kind of stumble into this and do the best you can with what you got. You can always pull down the videos later if you need to,
Yeah.
but just go. Like, it's okay. It's not. It's out on the internet, but there's always ways to kind of edit or redo what you've done. So just do the best you can with what you got. And I appreciate you kind of coming with that posture today. So thank you, everyone. We're going to end the live broadcast today. Have a little bit of a private conversation behind the scenes. And if you want to learn more about Kingdom Warriors, Giver Marketing Network, Catara Lane, anybody in the room today, just reach out to us and we'll make sure that you have information about that. Okay. God
Yeah,
bless
we
you
love
guys.
doing our Tuesday masterclass. And Tim, if you remember, recently we added in a Wednesday activity now to Giver Marketing also.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
we have
Tell us
any
more about
marketers
that.
in the house, for example, those in this room and those that aren't in this room, maybe you want to be in this room. You want to do some networking with other marketers, be sure to join us on Wednesday. So every Wednesday, reach out if you want more information about that. We will gladly get you in there. Come join us in the room, and we're all going to have fun together and learn how to network together as marketers and support each other. And it's going to be a great just gathering of marketers and brilliant minds together. So we'll see everybody Wednesday. So that's tomorrow. See you soon.
God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.